Lake Society magazine is Minneapolis' premier target market, boutique lifestyle and design publication. It embodies the unique lifestyles and design of the Minneapolis City Lakes neighborhoods. From Lake of the Isles to Lake Harriet, it showcases the best in local design projects by both premier builders, architects, and interior designers in this area. Lake Society magazine has the look and feel of a national publication with glossy covers, high-end finishes. It's mailed directly to upper bracket single-family homeowners in the City Lakes area, and it's the perfect local coffee tabletop publication. Subscriptions can also be available through the website lakesocietymagazine.com. Additionally, publisher and founder Karen Steckel has over 27 years in the local magazine publishing industry and has a passion for high-end photography and quality graphics. Her commitment to quality, visual simplicity, and beauty are strongly reflected in her beautiful Lake Society magazine. We sort of went down this whole exploratory wellness journey over the last year and a half, which we're still doing and very excited about. I reached out to Toto again and said, hey, I want to not only reuse the toilet you gave me and finally have a home for it, but I'd like to do a lot more. Really special thanks to Dan at Toto. I'm sorry it took me 3 years to install the toilet you gave me. Welcome to the Curious Beaver Podcast. I'm Mark Williams, your host. Today is Thursday, and it is our Losers Are Winner stories, and I got a doozy for you. So this one's going to be all about bidet toilets. So if you've been following our project over at Mysa Hus, it's our Swedish-inspired wellness home that we're doing as a spec home over for Mark Williams Custom Homes. I'm doing 3 bidets in there, but the story is a lot older. So about 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was in Chicago, and I was visiting with Tracy Bench from a local rep house here that does all of our appliances through Ferguson, plumbing fixtures. And I've always loved Totos, and I wanted to know more. And so it started at IBS 2.5 years ago. And so I saw her there and we're walking around and I said, I love Totos. And she says, you got to come over and meet Dan. He's one of the head guys in North America. So I go over and meet this character of a character, Dan, and we're walking around talking about toilets. And I love his line. He's like, in Europe, bidets are huge. And in the US, they're just not. It's probably more of a cultural thing than anything else. And honestly, I'm 45. I've never used a bidet, and I've traveled in Europe and I've traveled around, and I just never had the opportunity to use one. And so I'm like, like a lot of people, ignorance leads to a lot of judgments and things that you just aren't aware of. And I said, I would love to get one of these in one of our homes. And yes, they're expensive, but I loved his thought is like, if you're really sweaty after a workout, do you just take a towel and just wipe your body, or do you go take a shower? And so he obviously likened it to your butt. Like, why in the United States is it such a common thing that you take dry toilet paper and you do your business, you do your duty, as they say, as the kids speak, and like, why are we so afraid of a bidet or water and all the different features that these really amazing toilets have? And really there's a wellness aspect to it. So he said, tell you what, I'll get you a Toto toilet. You have to put it in one of your homes. And I said, great, I'll put it in my own personal home. He said, awesome. Shoot some content for us. And I was just starting to do brand work. So this is kind of one of our first things. So I come home all excited. As I recall, it was like, I don't know, maybe a $4,000, $3,700, $5,000 toilet, somewhere in there. And I told my wife, I said, hey, we got a new toilet. It's a bidet. It's going to be amazing. And my wife was like, great, no problem. Put it in. So the problem is you need power. So we were in a 1919 house. We'd remodeled it about 5 years before. And so I'm like, okay, how am I going to get power up there? And our bathroom in the basement had wood wainscoting everywhere, so I didn't want to rip that up. I didn't want to put it in the powder room. Again, wood wainscoting and wallpaper everywhere, and also no power. But actually on the opposite side in our owner's suite where the toilet goes is an outlet for a lamp. I'm like, perfect. They can just split the wire, put it on the back side, no drywall, like no mess, like easy peasy. The electrician can probably do this in under 15, 20 minutes. And so I lined up the electrician, lined up the plumber, had everyone ready to go. Keep in mind, this is like 2 years ago. And the day before, my wife says, no, cancel it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had a nice little marital fight about it. And she's like, because if you install it, this will be the only toilet you use. And I'm like, well, it's a toilet and it's in our bathroom. Like, so yes, I will use it. She goes, and the kids will like it because it's got a heated sleep. So we have 3 kids. They're like, so that means only the kids will use it as well. So it will collectively be the only toilet that anyone uses in the house, and I don't want everyone using my toilet. And so we had a nice little moment where I'm like, well, it's not your toilet, it's our toilet. And, toilets are meant to be used. And you could imagine where this conversation went. It went down the drain, pun intended. So long story short, I had to cancel the electrician, cancel the plumber, and it sat in my garage for a year and like 10 months. So almost 2 years. And it was a no-go. Every once in a while I'd bring it up and she'd just give me the look like, no, this you can put it anywhere else in the house that you want. But I didn't want to spend another $3,000-$4,000 re-wainscoting a bunch of walls. So I was like, so it just sat there and I waited for a homeowner. I was going to give it to a homeowner as kind of like a parade home or a tour home for them to try it out on. So when Mysa Hus came around, and we sort of went down this whole exploratory wellness journey over the last year and a half, which we're still doing and very excited about. I reached out to Toto again and said, hey, I want to not only reuse the toilet you gave me and finally have a home for it, but I'd like to do a lot more. So I was out in Chicago for one of our Curious Builder collectives in, I think it was September, October, and tried them all out, not personally, but just meaning go look in their showroom, and then picked out a couple that we wanted, and we got them ordered. And so one thing I should probably mention, there's a company called Visium. Jonathan Kramer is the person that I met with here locally in Minnesota, and they're going to be featured in Mysa Hus in all of the bathrooms. And it's kind of like a recessed can that goes in the bathrooms. It can go anywhere. Kitchens are fine too. And basically it shines down UV light. And the UV light kills bacteria. And the places in a house that has the most bacteria are kitchens and bathrooms, as you would imagine. I didn't want it in the kitchen, this Visium light, just because I didn't love, it's nice looking, but not so nice that I want it in a multi-million-dollar ceiling above the kitchen sink, which they understood. But I said, absolutely, I'll put it in all the bathrooms. Let's beta test this and see how it goes. And they were happy to work with us and support it. So we're really excited to get these all installed. And the UV light kills fecal bacteria, poop particles in the air. And I'm familiar with UV lights. We put them sometimes in the plenum of our furnaces because it kills, again, bacteria. It'll kill the bacteria, and then the filter takes the particles out of the air, healthier to breathe, things like that. We're also doing that at Mysa Hus as well. But I also wanted a UV light that would kill, fecal bacteria at the point of contact. Well, it turns out Toto, they're really high-end toilets. I mean, they are expensive. I think their top of the line is like 25, 30 grand. Those actually have UV lights in the toilet themselves, which is pretty awesome. We did not do those ones. We picked the ones that were like $7,000 or $8,000. They're beautiful toilets. They're very, very nice. They do all the same functions. They just don't have, stylistically, there's a few changes. And then also, of course, the UV light. But I've got the UV light covered above. So anyway, fast forward to today. About 3 weeks ago, we're sleeping in our bedroom, and the toilet is running, and you hear that kind of jiggle the plunger and take off the top. You play around with the chain and you do all the seals. And we've been doing this for like 6 months to a year on this dumb toilet in our owner's suite. And my wife finally says, can you please get a new toilet? Keep in mind that I had told my project manager like 2 weeks before this to come to my house, get the Toto toilet that had been sitting in our basement for like a year and 10 months, bring it to Mysa Hus so that it was ready for when the plumbers, and there was one toilet that we did not have to order for Mysa Hus. So I'm like, wait a minute, the toilet that has been sitting in our basement for the last year and a half that you said I could not put in our bathroom, now you're okay with it going in? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my word, this is so on par. So I call the PM. I say, can you please, actually, I think I loaded up in my car. I said, I'll bring it back to the office because we had it in storage. I bring it all the way back, line up the electricians, line up the plumbers. We ordered a secondary Toto toilet for the kids' bathroom because that also needed replaced. And I said to my wife, I said, well, if I can do both toilets, one a bidet and one normal, are you fine with that? And you don't have any reservations, because I don't want to go through I don't want to line everyone up and then have you cancel it again the day before. And she said, nope, I'm not going to cancel it this time. We're happy to announce that on March 20th, Sauna Camp will be coming back to Minnesota. Out on Lake Independence, we're going to do a half-day event, and we're going to start out with a 1-hour podcast. We've got Alex Larson, who's an Iron Woman. She's also a professional nutritionalist coach. We've got Ryan Rivard. He's completed multiple Ironmans, the Leadville 100. He's also climbed Mount Everest, and he talks a lot about addiction and leads a lot of similar like groups. So I'm really excited to hear Ryan's point of view. And then we also have Alex Neist. He's from Minnesota. He invented hostage tape. It's actually the #1 brand for stop snoring. It's a big part of wellness is how you sleep. After that, we're going to have a 2-hour session of sauna and cold plunge at people's own desires. We're going to have different temperature saunas. We're also going to have different theme saunas. And then my friend Chris Husett from Legacy Chocolates in St. Paul, he's one of our sponsors. He's going to have drinking chocolate. It's Himalayan drinking chocolate. It's like nothing you've ever had. So your body's going to be super starved for nutrients. And then we're going to end the evening, which is always everyone's favorite part. The Fumo Collective is an incredible wood-fired grill, lamb on the bone, chicken. It's got tabbouleh, baba ganoush, very Mediterranean blue zone type of cuisine. The food is amazing. So I hope you can join us. Again, that's March 20th. That'll be Sauna Camp. All the details can be found on curiousbuilderpodcast.com. So we get everyone lined up, and last week we had successful installation. Cue cheers right now. So now the story gets really funny. So I come home, and there's this beautiful bidet in our owner's suite. I'm thinking, this is great. I didn't have to go to the bathroom, so I wasn't like going to try it for no reason. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to wait. I get up really early, go to the gym. So a lot of times I'm going to the bathroom at the gym, TMI, but we're talking about bidets. So here you go. So I come home, and my middle son, Simon, so they're all naked. So I got May, Simon, and Tate. They're all ready to go to bath after dinner. I give them baths. And they are sitting around, and my wife had it called. They're all gathered around this toilet like it's like a shrine in the jungle, and there's going to be gold in it or something. So Simon sits down. I'm like, "You ready, buddy?" He's like, "Yep." And he sits down, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "The seat is so warm. This is amazing." And all the kids are laughing. I'm dying laughing because I'm like, this prophecy where my wife said that everyone's going to use her toilet is like definitely coming to fruition. So they're all, and so like he goes to the bathroom, and I said, "All right, buddy." I said, "Do you know what happens next?" And he's like, "Nope." And I said, like, "Well, there's a little button over here. And it shows like a little water squirter on these 2 half moons, which is your bum." And I was like, "Hit this button." I wish I had a video for just internal use, but I thought I'd be judged, so I didn't do it. And he turns on the water jet, and he starts laughing. I don't know if I've ever heard Simon laugh this hard. He is just cracking up laughing. Part of the problem, too, is he's sitting a little too far on the seat, so some of the water's coming up his backside a little bit, which is pretty funny. But he thinks this is the funniest thing that's ever happened in his life. He is giggling. All the kids are laughing. I'm laughing. We're just having, this is the funniest thing. I was like, "All right, buddy, you done?" He can hardly keep it together. I was like, "Okay, now hit the dryer button." So he hit the dryer button, and now he goes into a whole nother fit of laughter, and he's just dying laughing about this thing. And so anyway, he's all done, gets off, and now all the other kids, of course, want to try. So over the next couple of days, everyone is giving it a whirl. Now, my wife is right. All the kids want to do is use this bidet. And so I haven't asked my wife yet what she thinks of it. And anyway, I just thought it was kind of a funny story that I wanted to share. And also a really special thanks to Dan at Toto for being patient. I'm sorry it took me 3 years to install the toilet you gave me, but it is now installed. I will talk about it. And I'm really excited. One of the things I was kind of commenting on, and the reason I wanted to share the story is, because Mysa Hus is a house based around wellness, and shocker, everybody poops. It's a normal thing, people, is most of the time at a parade home or a tour home, you'll have the signs on the toilet that says, "Please do not use." There's hundreds of people through your house. Like, it's just weird to like have people like lock themselves in the bathroom and use the bathroom when people are walking through. And that's probably normal and probably a good thing. I've certainly done it. I haven't decided yet, but I think I might designate a toilet in the house during the tour. Again, to promote Toto, because we have a partnership with them, where it'd probably be in the basement or something like this. And maybe there'd even be like a queue line, like, take a number to use yeah, that's perfect. Take a ticket to go number 2 and get in queue kind of thing. And anyway, it's going to be, "Please use our toilet." So forget the days where you'd have the stickers on your toilets to say, "Please do not use." This one would say, "Please use." So anyway, that home will be done in May. And I actually have this idea. Again, I don't know if people are going to find this nearly as funny as I do, but almost like it'd have to be a bit of a stage thing, but and you'd have to find someone really willing to but basically just like take a selfie video and get like a series of like 10 people practicing and using this toilet and then the ensuing water and dryer jets. I just think it'd be hilarious. I don't know why it's so taboo, why we can't talk about this stuff. It's like, no, why would anyone have any issue talking about a shower? Like, that's not that big of a deal. And so, but for whatever reason, washing your butt is a big deal. So anyway, I'm here to remove that stereotype. That is my losers are winner story today. So stay tuned. We will see if this has a successful outcome or not. That's all I got. Have a great rest of your week. Next week will be Christmas. We have a really cool episode airing on Monday. Teddy Seipel is a builder out in Connecticut, and he went through a $2.3 billion, that's with a B, lawsuit from the state of New York, and we captured his whole story on The Curious Builder. So if you want something to be thankful for, if you want to hear about resilience, tune in next Monday. Teddy is going to break down his story. It is highly entertaining. You will laugh, you might cry, you will feel very uncomfortable. You will also feel like, wow, whatever you have endured, you can keep going. And, this time is the time of year where, we talk a lot about mental health. We talk a lot about camaraderie. We talk a lot about support, and just seasonally, this is always a time where people get seasonal depression. And so I wanted this story to really time out right before going to the holidays, of just one of one man's journey, and really a family journey of how they went through and kind of made it through to the other side of this story. So please tune in Monday. It's going to be a whopper of an episode. Have a great week, and thanks for tuning in to the Curious Builder Podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the Curious Builder Podcast. If you like this episode, do us a favor. Share it with 3 other business owners. The best way that we can spread what we're doing is by word of mouth, and with your help, we can continue to help other curious builders expand their business. Please share it with your friends, like and review online, and thanks again for tuning in.